Hello everyone, Gaming Smiley here, and it's still Batman Day, so we're moving on, and unfortunately this one's a bad one. I'd actually give this probably, maybe a 4. I'd give this a 4 actually. It's not as bad as what's to come, in my opinion. So, today, in this one, we shall be talking about Batman Forever, which is supposed to be a continuation / sequel from The Batman and Batman Returns, and it's not that great as a continuation. It also has a lot of problems with it. For example, the changing of Harvey Dent from being Billy Dee Williams to Tommy Lee Jones. Also, Tommy Lee Jones feels like instead of playing Two-Face, he's playing the Joker, because all he does is cracks jokes and laughs. He barely even talks about using the coin or justice until, like, literally the end of the film. Then you have Jim Carrey as the Riddler, which he basically plays a mix between the Riddler and the Joker, but to be fair, the Riddler's kind of like that anyway. He's kind of a bit of a nutcase when it comes to him. So he's not that bad. He's pretty good. He's the better out of the two in this film. Like, they both have their ups and downs when it comes to this film, but you know, it's Batman Forever. Director changed to Joel Schumacher, and the theme changed. Basically, this film, it's still kind of dark, but it's more cheesy and campy than the other two. And this film is like 2 hours and 2 minutes, and I kind of had to take a couple breaks while watching it because I was just like, oh no. So, Batman changed from Michael Keaton to Val Kilmer because, you know, Michael Keaton didn't want to work on a Batman film unless Tim Burton was directing. And he says he'd still return if Tim Burton made a Batman film. But, yeah. Val Kilmer, he constantly has a straight face throughout pretty much the entire film. He has that kind of face, essentially, throughout the entire film. Even when he's playing Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne's not supposed to always be dark and brooding. That's Batman. There's supposed to be a difference between the two so that people don't know that Bruce Wayne's Batman. But, yeah, this film also introduces Robin, played by Chris O'Donnell. To be fair, he does a good job of what he's given. But, yeah. I don't really recommend this, but, you know, if you want to watch it, go ahead. I won't say that you shouldn't. But, you know, non-spoiler stuff over. Time to talk about Batman Forever. And I'm not very happy to do this. But, yeah. So the film starts off with a really long title sequence that's annoying to watch because there's just all these sounds and everything's blurring past and it's annoying. And then after that we get a Batman suit up, which is so much longer than it is in the Tim Burton one. Tim Burton, it was like gloves, belt, cowl. In this, it's gloves, belt, close up on the crotch, ass, cowl, cape, everything. Just shows you everything. It shows you picking up his gadgets, and it gets a little bit annoying. And also, there's nipples on the bat suit. Why? Why did you add nipples to the bat suit? Makes no sense. But anyway, basically, Two-Face is robbing a bank because it's the 2nd anniversary since Batman caught him. So Batman's going to go stop him, and he meets a woman called Chase Meridian, played by Nicole Kidman. What kind of fucking name is that? But, yeah. So, she's the love interest. That's all you need to know. She's the love interest. She's a psychiatrist. She's really into, you know, mental states and such. So, she's interested in Batman naturally because, you know, who in their right mind would go around at night beating people up dressed in a bat suit? So, yeah. So Batman goes after Two-Face. He doesn't catch him. He's pretty sure he escapes through a hole in the floor. He does that quite a lot in this film. It's ridiculous how many times he gets away through the floor. But yeah, so it's the next day. Bruce is at, well, Wayne Enterprises, and he meets Eddie. He meets Edward Nygma, who's working for him, and he's trying to make a realistic television. Basically, you feel like you're in the thing by beaming it into the brain, which Bruce isn't very happy about that, because not only can you just beam things into the brain, you can beam things out the brain, and that ends up being his entire plan. So Bruce looks outside and he sees that the bat signal is up. So he just walks away. He goes into his office and he hops into a capsule which takes him straight to the Batcave. Which, yeah, cool, whatever, but doesn't make that much sense. Someone would notice probably the capsule. It'd probably make a really loud noise when it just fires down, or there'd be a really big tube outside that people can see just heading straight into the ground that isn't for plumbing. But yeah, so that happens, and he shows up, and it turns out it's a false alarm. Chase just wanted to see Batman because Chase is an idiot, doesn't understand how the bat signal works. So yeah, basically they have a little bit of a laugh and a joke. There's some jokes basically that she should see a fireman because there's less rubber and blah blah blah. Anyway, so while this is happening, Eddie kills his boss, which he kills him by tossing him out a window with a chair. So the police find out, they investigate, and on the cameras it looks like Eddie isn't there at all because he's edited it. And he's there and he's pretending to be sad and upset about it because he doesn't want to be like, I don't care, I did that, but it's fine to look like a suicide. And after this, Bruce goes and meets Chase for an appointment, and for some reason throughout this entire film, Bruce seems to have problems remembering the night that his parents were killed, but because this is supposed to be a continuation from the Tim Burton films, that they even make a reference to Catwoman, because Chase Meridian mentions about Catwoman by saying that Batman likes strong women, and yeah, she meant Catwoman when she said that. But yeah, so after she goes to meet him for an appointment, he invites her to the circus. This is where things go horribly wrong for Robin. Basically, Robin in this film is Dick Grayson, and he's played by Chris O'Donnell, as I said before. And yeah, if you know anything about Dick Grayson's origin, you know what I'm going to say, even if you haven't seen the film. So basically, at the circus, it gets hijacked by Two-Face. Two-Face says there's a bomb with 200 sticks of dynamite in it. And basically Dick sends up into the air after his entire act with the Flying Graysons is done with his entire family, and he sends up over the roof, out the roof, and it goes into the water and it blows up, and Two-Face kills the entire Flying Graysons, other than Dick, obviously, because he needs to become Robin. He basically said Two-Face wants to know who Batman is, and Bruce literally screams, "I'm Batman," and no one hears him. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of commotion going on, but he screams it like Chase is sat right here, and she doesn't even know that he's Batman, even though he's screaming, "I'm Batman," which is dumb. So Bruce adopts him afterwards. Bruce adopts Dick Grayson. He ends up being a complete and utter dick, like a real asshole. He's fucking dick. He basically says, "Oh yeah, I only said I'd come here to avoid charity and more paperwork and blah blah blah. So I'm out of here. Goodbye." And then Bruce is like, "Nah. Yeah, I've got a bunch of motorcycles and you like motorcycles, so let's just go take a look at my motorcycles." He's like, "Oh, okay. I'll stay, I guess." So, Bruce has flashback to a book. This also kind of happened. Basically, him and Chase, this happens sometimes throughout the film. Him and Chase have a little chat about his suppressed memories, even though they're not suppressed, because in Batman he figures out that actually the Joker is his parents' murderer because he remembers it perfectly fine. But whatever. So after this flashback, Batman in the Batmobile versus Two-Face and a bunch of thugs. He ends up getting cornered. They run at him and Batman grapples. Well, the Batmobile grapples up onto a building and pulls itself up like it's fucking Arkham Knight on a winch. And Two-Face isn't very happy about that. What does Batman do? Fuck all, he just leaves. He doesn't even, Two-Face is out the car. He could just jump out and hit him. But no, he's just like, nah, fuck this. I'm going home. That's what he's like. So, Eddie, whatever the fuck you want to call him, is trying to figure out what villain he's going to be. And he calls himself the Puzzler and all this shit. And then he figures out Riddler. He has too many question marks. Like, why wouldn't he just figure out question marks immediately, though? Because he's literally got one of those, carnival type of booth things that you, put a coin in and you get a card that tells you your fate that's bullshit. They have, the genie or the old woman with the crystal ball. But this one is a fully green-suited man with question marks on his hat. And he's got a little green light bulb with a question mark on it and a red light bulb. And every time he says something that isn't to do with question marks, it's red. And then when he says question mark, it's green. It's the one, and then he chooses, yeah, I'm the Riddler. That's what he goes like that. So after that, Riddler tries to convince Two-Face to help him with his plan, which is to steal enough money to start his own company and use his tech that he invented to make himself smarter into the smartest being alive. And Two-Face at first is like, nah man, fuck that, I ain't helping you. You come in here and you fucking tell me what you want to do. But then Riddler shows him the power of this thing and how good it feels to be smarter. And Two-Face is like, okay, I guess whatever. So they steal a fuck ton of money, a fuck ton of jewelry, and where's Batman and all this? Oh yeah, he's spending his time with Chase. So basically, he wants to put Riddler boxes everywhere, and Harvey does flip a coin, but he doesn't do that often. So after the robbery, Dick shows off to Alfred while he's doing the laundry. He basically just, that's just so much effort to do it. He's just drying things and he's flipping them around. He's doing flips and he's got it on his leg and he pulls it and then he gets the mop and then he mops up the water. I mean, it's cool looking, but there was no point. It wasn't cool enough to be yeah, that's there's a point to that one. But at this point, it's just fucking noise. So it's back to the robbery, and then Dick manages to sneak into the Batcave because Alfred goes in and he leaves and doesn't close the door behind him like a numpty. Why? Why, Alfred? You've been doing this since 1989. Why haven't you figured out to shut the door? But, yeah, after Dick sneaks into the Batcave and he takes the Batmobile for a joyride and he saves a girl from a bunch of fucking weirdos. For some reason, they have a really big fucking neon fetish. They're covered in fucking neon paint. But anyway, after this happens, the real Batman shows up because Alfred tells him, hey, by the way, Dick stole the fucking Batmobile. But he doesn't say it like that because, Chase is right there. So he's like, oh, he took the car. And then, so he goes, and he saves him. And he gets pissed at Dick. And Dick's like, what the fuck, man? So, yeah. After that, Bruce also gives is also given a weird doll from Chase that he gives her back at the end of the film. But it doesn't matter. It's basically one side's black, one side's white, and it's probably supposed to signify two different fucking personalities, but it's not very well explained. So, after that, they go to the Nigma party. Basically, Nigma gets enough money to make his own company, and all of a sudden he's a big hit. He has all these boxes, and people are buying them, and he's able to ship them out to everyone. Basically he makes a fuck ton of money, and he gets his plan, and his plan comes to fruition. Drew Barrymore is there. I only say Drew Barrymore because she doesn't say her actual name. She basically, when Bruce introduces himself to her, she just says, "You can call me whatever you want." So basically the plan is to get a scan of Bruce Wayne's brain. That's part of the plan. And this is how they find out that Bruce Wayne is Batman. And they figure it out because there's a bunch of bats in his brain. I'm not joking. There's just a bunch of bats in his brain when you look at it later. But good old Two-Face spoils the party by, breaking in and causing problems. And then, so Robin saves him. So, Batman shows up and, he changes into Batman. He beats up a bunch of henchmen. Chase tells him, "Hey, you can come to mine at midnight." And then he beats up some more guys. He chases after Two-Face, and he goes through the lift. He goes down to the ground. Batman goes to the roof, and Two-Face hops in. He takes down two wooden planks that are on the floor and hops down. As I said, he goes through the fucking ground so many times. Anyway, Batman falls after, but he ends up in a tube, and then Two-Face makes a joke about how having gas is a bad thing, and he tries to light him on fire, and then he buries him, and then Robin saves him. So then Batman goes to Chase's at midnight, like she invited him to, and she tells him, "Oh yeah, I need to grow up, I fancy Bruce, not you." And then Bruce, obviously because he is Batman, when he's not facing her, he has this really dumb fucking grin. But anyway, this makes Bruce want to stop being Batman, and Robin's not very happy, and he decides to leave. And then good old Batman. So after this, Bruce invites her over for dinner on Halloween. How do we know it's Halloween? Because Alfred opens the door and goes, "Happy Halloween, Miss Chase." And she's like, "Oh, happy Halloween, Alfred." And then Two-Face and Riddler show up because they know that Bruce Wayne is Batman. They kidnap Chase, and also Bruce also had a flashback to his parents' murder because he had a vase of roses fall. He had a traumatic flashback because a couple of roses fell, and there was a couple of roses at the place where his parents died. But he already knows all this shit, but it doesn't because writing. But Riddler, as I said, Riddler and Two-Face capture Chase, and then Riddler challenges Batman by using the bat signal and putting a big green question mark in it, and big green question mark in the fucking sky. He also steals a bunch of people's brain power because he's got all those boxes in people's homes. And then so after that, Bruce and Alfred figure out that Nigma is the Riddler from the riddles that he's been leaving. Oh yeah, he's been leaving riddles in certain places, and they figure it out, and they figure out that he's him. And also, Riddler blew up the Batcave. It doesn't matter that much because he blew it up, but he still has a bat boat, a bat plane, and a bat suit, which is a secret bat suit that he hasn't tested yet. So does this mean that there's going to be some faults with the suit? No, there's no faults with the suit at all. Everything goes according to plan. So Although fair enough, it's Batman, so he's not exactly going to he's not going to make a suit that doesn't work. So after this, good old Robin comes back, and he has a new suit that Alfred made him, and it's got nips. It's got nipples again. God damn it. So it looks so stupid. Purely because of the nipple covers, they look dumb. But yeah, they make their way after, and we go after them, and Harvey and Eddie play a game of fucking Battleship Batboat Edition by trying to blow up the Batboat that's got Robin on it. And Batman's in the fucking plane, and he's fine until he gets close to the place, and then fucking Robin says, "Holy metal, Batman," when they land, and obviously it's not a fucking real island. Okay. So after this, there's a bunch of traps. Batman makes his way through them. Robin gets captured, and Batman's told to make a choice between saving Chase or Robin, and then Batman makes a riddle, which is basically the answer is blind as a bat, and when Riddler gives the answer, he throws a batarang into the fucking ceiling, which destroys Riddler's entire plan, because that's where everything is. Everything blows up, and then Riddler gets a big brain blast. There's all this fucking green just hits him in the head, and his brain kind of expands like he's the leader. And then that's him defeated. He's got this lump on his brain, but he presses the button anyway to let them free, and Batman saves them both in the nick of time. And then Two-Face appears, and Batman gets him to flip a coin, and then he tosses up a bunch of coins to confuse Two-Face, and then Two-Face falls off and falls right into a trap and dies. So after that, Enigma's sent to Arkham, and he forgets that Bruce is Batman. He thinks he's Batman, and then Chase leaves. And after that, Batman and Robin run out the camera with a light behind them, and the film ends. There's quite a lot of dumb shit in this film that doesn't fit the previous films, even though it's supposed to be a continuation. I mean, the guy who plays Alfred is the same, Michael Gough. And the guy who plays Commissioner Gordon is the same, Pat Engel. And other characters are the same, other than Two-Face, obviously. And then, but yeah, that's that done with. As I said, I'd give this probably a 4, well, maybe a 3 now. 3 question marks. Also, well, I would say 3 questions. I was thinking maybe 3 coins, but 3 question marks. That's what we're gonna go with out of 10. So yeah, the next film that I'm gonna talk about is a good old Batman and Robin, which is worse. Trust me, it's worse. It's so much worse. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. If you didn't, do what you do. If you're new here and you want to help me out, why not hit the subscribe button? Just why not? And also, if you want notifications, you gotta hit the subscribe. The bell. How did I mess that up? But anyway, said hit the bell if you want notifications, and I'll hopefully see you next time. And goodbye.